In the studio with us today, we have Kip Stroden and his two lovely dogs, Ruby and Gizmo. This is what happens when you can't find a babysitter. Kip is a visionary in the natural product industry and the CEO of Essential Living Foods. Kip has taken the superfoods movement to a whole new level. He travels the world to deal personally with the farmers he is importing superfoods from. Kip, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for bringing your children.
You're welcome.
We love them.
Yeah.
So, in one of the videos I watched of you, you mentioned that you were an agent for plants. I love that sentence, and I want to hear a little more about that. And after you tell us about that, since there's no official definition of superfoods, give us your definition of superfoods.
Okay. Well, I mean, being an agent for plants is, plants have miraculous properties. Oddly enough, many of them benefit human beings. So we represent plants from around the world. We look for them, we seek them out, and we promote them. And I think it's a miracle that plants have all these healing properties, whether, in Chinese medicine or Ayurveda, just Amazonian shamanic traditions. It's just amazing that these plants have these healing properties. So we feel like we're representing the plants, and they do a lot of amazing things for us.
Very cool, very cool. So what got you involved in superfoods? What was it that drew you in?
My mom got me into nutrition in the late 70s, and I've just always been fascinated with it and have always read books about nutrition and been an enthusiast. And I think I just started learning about superfoods initially through David Wolfe, who was an author and a lecturer, an incredibly smart guy. And he inspired me initially and just turned me on to these particular foods, things like goji berries and acai and raw chocolate, and things like that.
So how would you define a superfood?
Hey guys, so superfoods are nutrient-dense foods, things that have whether it's concentrated vitamins, minerals, protein. Something that benefits us, but I think it's really about nutrient density that makes something a superfood.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So out of all the superfoods that you import, which one do you import the most? What's kind of your biggest seller, if you have one?
Yeah, we do. I mean, the biggest sellers are maca, which comes from high in the Andes in an area of Peru called Junin, which is up in the Andes. And what's incredible about maca is it grows at about 12,000 feet in altitude.
Wow.
And so it's a really hardy plant. Almost nothing grows at that altitude.
And what are some of the benefits of maca?
Maca is an aphrodisiac. It's an adaptogen, kind of like ginseng, and just a powerful plant.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. Okay, so we know that there are so many superfoods out there. How do people know, if people come to you and say, which superfood is the most important superfood for me?
Right.
What do you tell them? I mean, how do people know which ones they need and which ones they don't?
I think it would have to do with what that person's personal needs were at that time.
Okay.
Camu has a lot of vitamin C. Maca is an adaptogen like ginseng and it is really powerful for libido. It's an aphrodisiac for men and women. So I think it just depends on what someone's needs are at the time.
Okay. All right, great. Yeah. So we have some questions from our audience.
Okay.
From Facebook. This comes from Sarah Berta in Coronado. She says, what is one superfood that I should incorporate into my diet right away?
Great question. I would say the antioxidant superfoods. So things like acai, goji berries. I know I'm giving you more than one.
That's
but,
okay. Keep going.
Acai, goji berries, camu.
Okay.
Things like blueberries.
What is camu?
Camu is a fruit that grows in the Amazon, and it's got the highest concentration of vitamin C of any fruit on Earth.
Wow. Cool.
And it's an incredible antioxidant.
Very cool.
So I would stick in the antioxidant realms. Pomegranate's amazing. Goji berries, acai, camu. Those are a short list.
Yeah, great, excellent. Okay, so next question from Matt Richardson, right here in Los Angeles. He said, "Can superfoods restore your digestive tract? And if so, do they make probiotics unnecessary?"
Well, I think probiotics that you buy in a health food store have been manufactured, and I think some of those products are excellent. The superfoods, quote unquote, that are probiotic rich are things like kombucha, kefirs, coconut kefirs, and another one is called natto, which
Okay.
is a part of the Japanese traditions, and it's a fermented soy
Okay.
product.
Natto.
So those are really great for digestion, and those would be superfoods I'd recommend for digestion.
Okay, great, thank you. And then we have one more, Brett Ellington from Long Beach. He asks, what is the best superfood for pain? And then he asks, superheroes wear capes. Why don't superfoods?
It's really cool. Well, I thought of a superfood cartoon where the plants and the fruits and vegetables would become like cartoon characters wearing capes.
Wow,
Be
so
really
you're
cool.
one step ahead of Brett.
Yeah.
There you go, Brett.
But as far as a pain reducing, I would say I would use mangosteen.
Okay.
And in particular, because mangosteen is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatories, which I
Okay.
think would reduce pain. But that's the only one that comes to mind for pain.
Okay, and what I'd like to know more about your business. I
Yeah.
know that you actually travel to these parts of the world. Where do you go for your business, where you go and import products from? I know you go to Peru.
Yeah.
Where else do you go? How do you deal with the kind of indigenous people there?
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Well, Peru is an amazing country because it's so biodiverse. I mean, you have dry deserts, you have Amazon, you have high Andes mountains. So it's kind of it's a treasure chest of biodiversity.
Okay.
And also the big agricultural companies didn't get into Peru just because of the political system. So you have a lot of heirloom varieties of plants that go all the way back to the Incas. So there are these ancient Incan crops like golden berries, like purple corn, like maca, like lucuma, that are really special and just haven't been adulterated by genetic modification or even hybridization.
Okay. And so when you first go there, you're like this big white guy from
Yeah.
America. What is that like dealing with them? Did they welcome you right away, or?
Well, I think I traveled to Peru initially based on relationships that had been created by the founder of the company.
Okay.
So they were old relationships, and that's how I got started.
Got it. Okay.
And so I think Peruvians and Ecuadorians are really warm people, and but I had some initial contacts there when I first went, and those
Gotcha.
have just moved into more relationships that have expanded over the years.
Okay, great. So Peru, Ecuador, are there any other countries
Yeah.
where else do you import from?
A lot from Indonesia.
Okay.
So we have a partner there, amazing company called Big Tree Farms, and they do incredible work with agriculture, and they've built organic cooperatives throughout Indonesia and Bali and Jakarta and Sulawesi, and they do cacao and they do coconut sugar, and they used to do cashews, but amazing partner that we have in
Very
Indonesia.
cool.
Yeah.
So for the audience out there who they want to know where to order superfoods from, are they all created equal? How do you tell which ones are better as far as quality?
Well, I mean, I think taste, color, texture,
Okay.
use your instincts. I mean, we consider ourselves the premium brand in the category, and we always search the world for the highest quality products, ones that we want to consume ourselves.
And that's Essential Living Foods.
Yeah, so our company is called Essential Living Foods, and you can buy our products at essentiallivingfoods.com. We have a lot of products. And there are other great companies in the space, so it's not just us. But I would say that we really, really care about social impact, how we treat the farmers.
Yes.
Our packaging is all ecological and recyclable, and it's really important to us. And there are some companies that those values aren't really core to what they do. They're just looking
Sure.
for the cheapest stuff.
Exactly.
So I think really, but use your God-given instincts. Taste, smell. And then what we do as a company is we do a lot of lab testing, and we send things off to labs, and we learn a lot about, is something clean? Is it nutritionally potent? Does it have all the vitamins and minerals that we'd seen from other lots of that same product? So I think science is really important to integrate as well.
Excellent, excellent. So besides your website, essentiallivingfoods.com,
Yeah.
how else can they find you? Let the audience know if there's any other...
We'd love for you to go into Whole Foods Market around the country and other independent health food stores. We're mostly in health food stores. Organic food stores and health food stores around the country.
And you have a storefront of your own?
We don't.
Okay.
We don't.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for coming in. Thanks for bringing the kids.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it was great. It was great hosting you. Thanks for your
Thanks so much.
knowledge.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
For more Wellness for Realists, be sure to subscribe to us at emPOWERme.tv. Like us on Facebook, Follow us on Twitter, and you can find me at acupuncturebychristian.com.